Going live. Hey, yes. We are here in the pre-phase. Da, 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 da. I don't know. I'm making it up. I'm making up songs. Hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo and Transformational Astrology. I want to help you get your mojo back. We are talking about the upcoming Mercury in retrograde pre-phase. We're in the pre-phase right now in the sign of Pisces. And what I think is really important to note is that it's not good or bad. A lot of times people will say, oh my gosh, Mercury's retrograde. We got to hide in the closet. You don't, unless, it makes you feel good. So hide in a closet. But I think that it's really important, especially in this one. In every planet goes retrograde, but when Mercury goes retrograde in a specific planet, there's usually a theme or there's a feeling that is different than each of the other Mercury in retrogrades. For instance, this one will be in, the last one we had was in Sagittarius, and that was meant to help you bring up your judgments and help you to see what insecurities that you had. In this particular Mercury in retrograde coming up March 5th through the 28th, but again, 3-week pre-phase, post-phase, we're in it right now. It's about a dreamy kind of exploratory sensation. So if you know you have a pattern that does not serve you any longer, maybe it never did, and that pattern is something that helps you to survive, to negotiate your world, but it doesn't feel right. It's not authentic. In this particular upcoming Mercury in retrograde, and it's starting now, we're feeling it now in the sign of Pisces, and depending on where it lands in your chart, it will mean different things to different people. But it's an easier time to see where you are sabotaging yourself, where you need to lighten up, play more, incorporate more magic into your world. And that can mean watching Harry Potter from front to back, or getting involved in anything that deals with community service as long as you have healthy boundaries, or helping yourself to feel more creative, writing, video, film, fashion, photography, even equine healing is phenomenal during a Pisces Mercury in retrograde. So, and remember, folks, if you're new to me, the planets don't make you do anything. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos. So when the planets make a move, you feel it. And when you make a move, the planets reflect that in the heavens. And it's like symbiosis. It's just you have a relationship to everything in your world, and even the galaxy and the planets. So we feel things. We don't always articulate. We don't always know. Sometimes we might wake up exhausted. Like this morning, I was like, I felt like I was drugged last night, but I wasn't. And so, as you're connected to what's going on in the universe, you'll go through ebb and flow, tides, biorhythms, which we'll talk about more in length. I'll be back. My goal is to be here Mondays and Thursdays. And on Monday, I would like to talk about your happy hormones. And then next Thursday, Mars is moving into the sign of Taurus on Valentine's Day. What does that mean? Well, we'll talk about it. Okay, so hey, Laura's here. Another Laura's here. Laura Lee is here. Leah's here. All the L's are here. And Dean. How fun. All right, so some of the do's and don'ts for Mercury in retrograde. Now, by the way, if you were born when Mercury was retrograde, this may apply a little differently. So for you, let me know. Where are you from? Where are you from? Hey, you from around here? What's your sign? Is that a pickup line? No. What sign are you? What do we have here today? Let me know you're here. And also, Dean has a silent L in his name. Right. All the L's. Okay. So I interrupted myself. Oh, we're going to see more of that coming up in this Mercury in retrograde. I have a Mars in Pisces, and so it'll be right on my Mercury retrograde will be right on top of my Mars. So I'm already starting to feel it. Drugged. Maybe that's what's happening to me. I'm thinking I need more sleep. And as I'm dreaming like crazy. So you want to write down your dreams if you're entering into that type of a phase. And you want to look at also where you have, your unfinished business for the most part. Mars is an energy planet. We're going to talk about that next week. But Neptune guides, and I'll show it to you. Neptune, here's Neptune. And that's the symbol for Neptune. And here is Mercury in the sign, in retrograde, that's the RX. And then this is Pisces. So, and I'm just showing you everything I have. I'm just going to show you all my pictures, my neurons, my Neptune. Okay. So when we are in a phase and we're entering into this particular Mercury retrograde Pisces phase, there's more of a dreamy feeling. There's more of a awareness of sabotage and illusion. Now, it can mean that you incorporate more illusion into your life in a healthy way, where you watch magical movies or you read books that you don't normally read. You know, for instance, if you're typically reading fiction, nonfiction, or you're someone who watches CNN 20 hours a day or something similar, then Neptune being a karmic planet, one of two, Saturn is the other. When Neptune has an event, such as Mercury in retrograde in Pisces, guided by Neptune, we're looking at bringing up two distinct areas, really. One, the self-sabotage, where you are in a place of illusion regarding something, or an addiction regarding something. And you can be addicted to lies. You know, you pretend, oh, everything's great. How you doing? Oh, I'm great. I'm good. When really you're not. So why? You know, that's the question that this retrograde is going to ask you. And are you done with it yet? Are you ready to move on? And the other thing is, how can you incorporate more mysticism into your life to connect spiritually? That's what you want to look at. So Leah says, I felt the same way when I woke up this morning, Elaine. So some of us are really going to start feeling that need, that pull to sleep more, to isolate a little bit more, to snuggle down no matter the weather, and just be a little bit more monastic. And this can also relate to meditating more, doing brain entrainment more. So, Dean, if you would post a link to my Bodhi Brainstorm, please listen to this. Read the PDF first, my gift to you. And please listen to the audio no more than 20 minutes a day, all right? Because this particular brain entrainment has delta waves, theta waves, and alpha and beta, I believe. And I made it's a hailstorm. So when you listen to it with headphones, it's going to help you move through certain parts of your psyche that need healing, need to wake up, need to settle down. So it does it for you. You don't have to do anything except lie there. And that's it. And you might want to journal after, see how you feel, or see what's changing in your life. But as we move further into the retrograde sensation, and remember, if you didn't listen to my last talk, the idea of a retrograde is the planet changes its axis, okay? But from the point of view of the Earth to Mercury, it's almost as if there are two planes in the sky traveling at the same speed, but one is really far away, trying to get it equal, and then the other one's closer. So the one that's closer looks like it's moving, oopsie, sorry, I'm backwards. So the one that's closer looks like it's moving faster. And so the perception is off. That's our perception in a Mercury in retrograde. So there's the link right there in the thread. It's going to help you free your mind. So this idea of mysticism, what does that relate to? Oh, you might want to get a reading, tarot reading, a reading with me. By the way, we're going to post that link as well so that we can see where exactly this Mercury in retrograde is going to show up in your chart and in your life, and what your timing is about. What is it time for? Are you ready to let go of something? Are you ready to embrace something? And I would say definitely use mysticism, metaphysics, and that is numerology, tarot, astrology, clairvoyance, readings, Tai Chi. I've been doing Tai Chi this week, and here's a great experience to understand. When you start moving your body in different ways, let's say you're big on aerobics or, some high speed cycling or something. And in this retrograde, I always recommend that every retrograde you switch gears and do something different. So if you're typically high powered workout, HIIT, move to dance, switch it over, do something calmer, do Tai Chi, do yoga. These are meditative movements. And what it's going to bring up for you, any Mercury in retrograde will bring up your judgments. And I had a huge hissy fit at my Tai Chi class yesterday, only because there are, it's a lot of people, and there's all this space in the front of the class, but I'm in the back and people are crowding. Now they're moving to the back because nobody wants to be in the front by the teacher. And I thought, well, if I just pardon me, warmed my way up to the front, I would feel arrogant. It felt arrogant to me, to move up and go, and I'm in the front now. I got the best view of the house. And I didn't want to do that. So I stayed where I was, and I was with someone who literally needed a chair to work out. She has a physical ailment. And another woman walked in and came and stood right next to me, and she was on oxygen. And the woman in front of me just was right there. So I'm trying to do my Tai Chi and be free and fluid and move and, get into the, and I felt confined and I had a hissy fit. And in my head, I was abrupt and I had words and and then this was the best part, because I'm always looking for a door out of my, caca, out of the way. And it doesn't last very long. I might just, it comes up and I go, blah, 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 and then I find a door. So I couldn't find a door. So I trusted. Mercury retrograde in Pisces is really going to be big on trust for you, that you're going to get your needs met from expected and unexpected sources. So as we're going through the class and I'm just breathing, saying, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm present. I am working through it. I am, body, mind, spirit connect. And it was only about 3 to 5 minutes I was in this place. And then the teacher said, now I want you to do some tapping around your eyes and massaging around your eyes and your temples and your eyebrows. And she said, these are the kidney, liver meridians for releasing frustration, impatience, resentment, and judgment. I was in there. It was so funny and so appropriate. And I always look for the universe to show me a door. So if you can't figure something out, the universe will come along and show you a door. Now, it can mean that you have to really own your stuff in a Mercury in retrograde, because when you see the pattern evolving in front of your face, you think, is that me? Did I do that? Is that me? Am I that powerful? That's the question you want to ask. Of course, and the answer is yes, you are that powerful. When you see life imitating you and your symbolism, Neptune is big on symbolism. And so that's why I say get into your dreams, your dream dictionary, check your biorhythms, really honor the place that you're in for the next 6 weeks. Remember, because we're also coupling this with the lunar and the solar eclipse energies that are still in play for many people, most people. And so you're going to feel worn out. Your stuff's going to come up suddenly. And then you look for solutions and answers, and the doors will open. The universe will show you the how. Hey, it's Liz. Hello from South Texas. Hi. Hi from freezing, icy, snowy Iowa. Tony, stay cozy. We got to stay cozy. Okay, so do's and don'ts for this Mercury in retrograde. Because it's in Pisces, do meditate. Do brain entrainment. The link is in the thread. Do book a reading with me 40 minutes, we're going to get in there, and I will look at the trend. It's not just this Mercury in retrograde. I'm going to look at the trend of where you're headed in this year and where the judgments are and where you can free up your mind and your patterns by actually incorporating a method, which I will give you in the reading. I always give homework. I know some people here on the thread have had readings with me. They know I give homework. Let's call it home fun. Who wants to work? I don't know. Well, Capricorns want to work. Sagittarians like to work and travel. All right. So do meditate, right? Do incorporate alone time in this particular retrograde. Neptune is almost the planet that guides the mystics in life, the nuns, the priests, the kahunas, the medicine people, the empowerment places, having sacred experiences. Massage might be one of them. And not just a typical shiatsu or Swedish massage where they get in there, but maybe a Thai massage, maybe lomi lomi Hawaiian. Maybe it's an energetic Reiki type of work that you're going to do. So incorporate something mystical and do something different than you normally would do. You love working out with weights, great. But every other workout, incorporate a little yoga, meditation, some Tai Chi, stretching, and brain entrainment, like I talked about. Okay, so those are on the do list. Do welcome the past because it's going to come back anyway. So why try to fight it? And that means with Pisces, let's see, this is a karmic retrograde. Your past is coming back. And it doesn't mean the actual person might come back, but you might hear about this person. You might start to get a little sentimental about what was and how it isn't now. So journaling or writing or in your meditations, when you just breathe to get calm and present, it's important that you also look at how you can let go. Now, letting go, what's the opposite of letting go? It's embracing. Really, it's accepting what is and making space for. Because when you let go of something, you make space for opportunity. So as you meditate in your mystical month of March, and you have this Mercury in retrograde in Pisces, it's really going to be, hey, Carlita from Florida. It's really going to be a more profound and private experience. Now, if you are a Pisces, sun, rising, or moon, this is a big healing time for you. You're not just healing an issue or an ailment. You're also healing something from the past. And the past might be several lifetimes of the same pattern. So it could feel big. It could be a major illness. Or it might be you need some counseling right now to get a grip on and get clear on what it is. Because the Pisces energy can be very nebulous, clouds, and it's raining and you can't really see. Do I have a picture of this? Silver sparkles. Wait a minute. Let me see. Moon phases. I don't think I do. But if you imagine being on the road at night and it's raining and your windows are fogging up in the car and there's lights ahead, but everything's blurry, sometimes that's what a Neptune Pisces energy can feel like. It's just not clear. So it's okay if you don't get immediate answers. Stop demanding immediate answers, because what you're going to find is that as you relax into the flow, you're brought into a very nebulous place of, I need to trust that I'm safe no matter what. Show of hands. Who does not trust right now? Who does not trust something in their life? It could be a person, a situation, trust that your needs are met. We all cycle through, oh gosh, is this going to happen? When's it going to happen? And it could be just for 2 minutes. Mistrust takes over and suddenly we feel like we can't get this done. So we have a Pisces sun right here. And so healing through and moving through, whether you're Pisces, sun, rising, or moon or not, depends on where Mercury is retrograde in your chart, but you will have a past issue return. Now, it might be The issue might deal with someone that you used to know and they come back. Maybe someone wants to friend you on Facebook and you say, oh my gosh, I went to third grade with that person, and it's kind of fun and like, hey, yeah, let's get into it. And then after a while, you're like, yeah, why? Where are we going with this? What's the point? So there's no real end game with Neptune energy. It moves. It's like a chameleon. Okay, so here's something fascinating. There are a few fish and some sea life, not actually fish, but like the cuttlefish. And there's a peacock, I forget what it's called, a peacock something fish. They change colors. They are like the watery chameleons. And that's what it's going to feel like. Things are going to be a day glow, like my mister back there. It's just, you watch that, and after a while, it goes from white to yellow to gold to pink to red to blue to green. And then before you know it, 3 days have gone by. And what just happened? Where have I been? I got lost. Sometimes getting lost is a great thing. Sometimes you want to be aware of, okay, this is the don't side. So the do's: meditate, embrace, go with the flow, see your patterns, stop demanding, trust, make a connection to something greater than yourself. And I don't mean a person. I mean ideology. Perhaps it's art that moves you, or film. So watching something poignant right now that helps you to feel empowered would be beautiful. Maybe it's the do's are also, when the past comes back, be open to reviewing. So it can be a past relationship, as I said, or it might be a past issue. Maybe it deals with your finances. If Mercury is landing in your 2nd or 8th house, then we're looking at, how do you deal with finances? What's bigger than that? What's your self-worth all about? If Mercury lands in your 6th house, well, maybe it's about health or lobbying for a cause or setting up a structure, or maybe moving from part-time work to volunteer work. So it depends on where it shows in your chart. But you're also going to have I'm so sorry, Sandra had a car accident. Please be well and take the time to heal. And what's really important to look at as well in the do's of a Mercury in retrograde, especially one in Pisces, is that if you have a recurring issue of negativity, because Neptune energy can be so cynical and negative, and it's always the doom and gloom, and locusts are descending, and the rage and the shame and the blame and all that under the surface murky water stuff. You want to bring that up through counseling. You want to do some writing and stop the blame. You want to focus on the fact that you are a magical creature. You are a magnet for any possibility. So if you are attracting negativity, what's the seed inside of you that is drawing this to you? You're not a victim, because Pisces and Neptune energy on the low end is the victim. See, suddenly we're purple and magenta now. Ooh, what just happened? We transformed, and it's very slow. So remind yourself at the onset of any meditation, or at the beginning of any day, during the day, every 20 minutes if you have to, before you go to bed, I am not a victim. What's the opposite of a victim for you? Okay, tell me. Let me know. Hi, Christine. Hi, Sandra. What's the opposite of a victim for you? Is it empowerment? Is it leadership? I'm going to take a sip. All right, think about that. Now, the don'ts, commitments during a Mercury in retrograde, when you already have a full plate. You want to make sure that if you do commit to something, I'll help you with the party. Yeah, I can bake. Yeah, la, la, la. Get particulars. Who's providing the funds to, feed 20 people? Is it you? Because if you say, yeah, I'll bake, are you the one who's going to pay for everything? So you want to be clear. It's, this is such a nebulous time that we agree to things and go, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. And then you think about it 6 weeks later and you go, what did I just say yes to? Or 3 weeks later, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I added that to my already full plate. So be clear. Get details. Ask questions, especially if you're going in for any kind of doctor appointment. You want to make sure that you are on top of it. Do your research ahead of time. Ask questions. Ask and keep asking. Get second and third and fourth opinions. And then ultimately, you're going to be guided to trust your gut. It doesn't always feel good. And sometimes it's that nebulous place of, I don't know where to go. It's because if you don't know where to go, you're in your head trying to make the decision. And the decision is never really going to be in your head. We're going to go from worrier to warrior in this particular retrograde in a non-conventional way. All right? Who's with me? Hey! Say hey. I want to know that you're here. I'm going to pick a card for everybody. I can feel it now. We're going to minimize confusion in this retrograde. That's coming up March 5th through the 28th. But we're already in the pre-phase, and then there's a post-phase. So at least give yourself 2 to 3 weeks prior, and then at least a week or two post before you make assessments, commit wholeheartedly. I mean, if it's a one-time job and you say, yeah, I'm going to do this, make sure you know the particulars around the job. If it's helping someone out, don't assume. Oh, that's a don't. Never assume when you're traveling in a Mercury in retrograde. You don't want to assume that things are what they are, because they're not ever what they seem to be. You want to double check the airline. You want to check the hotel. What about the routes? Travel guide. You might say, oh, when I get there, I'll just get an Uber. And then when you get there, you realize Uber doesn't exist in this town. So now what? So you're thrown off axis, which brings up judgments. You see, so sometimes it's actually a good thing. Nah, not good or bad. It's actually beneficial. Oh, and those, as I started to talk about earlier, those born in a Mercury in retrograde, you might find this is the most empowering time every time Mercury is retrograde, because you're in your own element. You then can connect the dots. You then can articulate your feelings about something. So you'll find major issues. If you were born with a Mercury in retrograde, you'll find that major issues are more readily resolved during a Mercury in retrograde, or at least become clearer, or you have aha moments. Now, whether or not you're born with a Mercury in retrograde, you're always going to have an aha moment if you're looking deep within to be honest and authentic about yourself. Now, I'm going to pull a card for everyone that, okay, I love the universe. Mercury in retrograde is all about the Now, retrograde means to step back. And in a retrograde, we reassess, we renegotiate, we reevaluate, we renew something, or we release it. Here's the card I pulled. Reflection. And that's so important. Let me show it to you again. Reflection. Reflection. This is a time of reflection on who you are, what the symbols are in your life, what you really want to be doing, and to get in there and clean out the gunk that sets you up for victimization. You are not a victim. I'm going to throw these cards across the room and slam my hands on the table. You are not a victim. You're someone who is capable. You're powerful. You may be going through a rough patch, but that's why there are other people to help you, to guide you, to show you the light. Look, now we're blue to purple. All right. Hey, it's Casey. Casey's here. We're all doing well. Hey, and Tracy's here. Casey, Tracy. Now I want to sing like a kid's song. Hey, remember Romper Room? I always waited for them to say happy birthday to Elaine. They never did. You know, the woman would hold up the mirror and she'd say happy birthday to Robert and Mary and Janie. And I go, Elaine, never did. Oh, well. Now I do it on my birthday. I look in the mirror and I go, happy birthday to you, Elaine. Even when it's not my birthday. I'll do that in Disneyland when we go to Disneyland. I'll go in and announce to the office, yeah, today's my birthday. So I get a button. So wherever I go, people say, happy birthday. You ought to try that. It just feels so good. All right, one more card for the group, because remember, this retrograde is going to feel like, wait, I just lost 3 days. It's going to be Ray Milland, lost weekend. And but we want to focus on the do's. Do allow flow. Do allow metaphysics into your world. Any kind of reading. Book a reading with me. The thread is, I think, above or below. Dean will post it again. Do use meditation. It can be Tai Chi. It can be a walking meditation. You could be gazing at a candle. You can be connecting with your body, mind, spirit, just in a way that helps you to tune in. And then do use media. I don't mean the news. That's when we plummet to the negative version of Neptune, where it's cynicism and victimization and blame. And no, turn it off. We want movies that inspire, books that inspire, writing exercises, or sending videos, to quick little emojis with a video to a friend and making them laugh, using humor. Finding the meaning behind the message and owning your own power, moving away from victimization and toward actualization. You are a divine creature. So, shape up. Or as Poseidon would say, ship out. Okay, one more card for the road. Casey loves Mercury in retrograde. She's a Gemini rising, so she can get out of her mind and get lost and just let it flow. Liz is a Virgo. Tracy's a Virgo. Okay, so you know what's important for Virgo to recognize in Mercury in retrograde? I'm speaking a new language. Mercury in retrograde in Pisces. It is your opposite. Now, depending on where it lands in your chart, we'll have specific topics to talk about. But in general, the Virgo energy, whether you're a Virgo sun, rising, or moon, this Mercury in retrograde in Pisces is going to show you how to lighten up and start trusting your intuition. Let's everybody write down their dreams. The more you write down your dreams, a little bit of paragraph before you go to bed about, oh, this was my day. La, 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 did this, did that, ran errands, did some stuff. I got annoyed at the blah, 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 whatever. And then you let it go. And then one more sentence on, I now focus on opening up my psyche and my spirit. And when you go to sleep, it's going to feel like you're flying. You're going to have vivid dreams. Give it a few days if you're not accustomed to dreaming, but or writing down or remembering. But this is going to be so powerful for you, because then you're going to get in touch with the mystical world. Movies like Source Code, so magical. Any fantasy, science fiction kind of, like the Avengers or Harry Potter, that kind of stuff. It also helps put you in a place of receptivity toward what else is possible. Coincident is when you have a need and the universe provides. Is it random? That's for you to decipher. We want to see connectivity between all things. All right, folks. Hey, Wendy's here, Libra. Carlita is a Libra, and Laura is a Cancer. And so when this retrograde in Pisces is happening, water signs will have a much more fluid time, much more profound time, even if it's just quiet and you get more rest. That can be profound. And earth signs will also have a much more fluid time and a much more aware time, because water and earth, water and water, they all flow together. Now, air and fire signs are going to have a little bit of annoyance come up, so you want to watch your judgments and look to see where it is that you feel superior or inferior to the person or the situation, and do your journaling, let that go. I was you yesterday, I am you today, or I will be you tomorrow. That's meant for you to understand that, we go around the cycle with all feelings and emotions. So if you're ready to judge someone, turn around. Have you ever felt that way yourself? Have you ever done that? This is all about what? I love these cards. This is all about growth, people. We're going to grow like Groot. My favorite little tree is Groot. All right, folks. I'll be back on Monday, and we're talking about your happy hormones. Come with a cup of tea and a cookie. Stay present. Look for the link for the Bodhi Brainstorm, do your meditations, and book a reading with me. And we're going to get in and get out and find out exactly what this retrograde is showing you about your life and your potential for the next year. I will speak to you on Monday. Have a fabulous weekend and dream big. Thanks for being here.